Hello, Drawing 2. I want to talk with you a little bit about perspective. Now first you're going to need some tools. I have paper that I already put down. I'm using a big piece of paper, but just a piece of computer paper is just fine. You're going to need to have a ruler. It doesn't have to be as long as this is a Dick Blick ruler, like one of the school ones that we have. And I'm using pens. I'm going to use like a thin Uniball pen and a Sharpie, but this is so you can see it. I don't recommend using pen when you're doing this. I would definitely use pencil because you're going to want to be able to erase. And then I have some tape. Now the tape is to basically tape your paper down onto a surface so that way it doesn't move around a whole lot when you're using your ruler and you're drawing your lines. And what I like to do is I like to position my paper on the edge of a table so that way I have a nice point of reference for making my horizontal lines and making my vertical lines. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you a one-point perspective. Again, first I realize that's a review, but I imagine that a lot of you might be a little bit foggy with this. It's been a while. And then I'm going to show you two-point perspective. And it's two-point perspective that I'm really going to have you focus on for when we do our drawing. So let's start with a horizon line. Oop. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and label that horizon line so you know what it is. And then for one point perspective, you're looking at the face of something. And it's the sides that converge to a vanishing point. So if I was drawing this box in one-point perspective, I'd be drawing the top of the box here, or the front of the box, and the side is what ends up going to the horizon line. And it goes to a point that we call a vanishing point. So I'm going to go ahead and label that vanishing point. And then to get started with this, we've got to draw a square. We've got to draw the face of the box. So let's draw a square. And I'm using my horizon as a point of reference to keep it nice and straight, or as straight as I can. And we have our box. Now, it's the sides that go back to the vanishing point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thinner pen and I need to draw some thin lines, some guidelines or vanishing lines that go back to that point. And I'm doing it from all of the corners of the square, just like this. Just make sure you get it lined up nice. There we go. And then that last one, now that's a hidden side, but we're going to make a transparent box right now. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that one too. And I would recommend whenever you're doing perspective to actually draw the back of the box as well. You can always erase that later, but when you're trying to figure out how things all fit together in a composition, it's important to have that back measurement. Okay, so now we've got to decide how big our box is going to be. And so we do that by drawing the back edge, or the back corner. So I'm just going to say, oh, we're going to make our box about this big. Alright, so I just connected the top line to the bottom line with a perpendicular line to the horizon, parallel to the side of the box. And to finish that up, I need to go across here, and by the way, I'm keeping this lined up with the horizon line and with the box. I want to make sure that these are parallel lines now. We'll go back this way, and I'm going to connect the two top points back this way. And we'll finish it off. Just like that. Now we're not done. We have the front of the box and we have the back of the box. Now we need to connect these other points to make it a cube. Okay. And in order to make this perhaps a little bit easier to see, let me add a light source. We'll add a little sun here. And I'm going to just shade the bottom of this, mostly so you can see it a little bit better. Oh, will you look at that? I missed a line. We have one more to go. There we go. And now our 1-point perspective box is complete. And I want you to notice that it's above the horizon line, which means that you see the bottom of the box. Let's do one more. I'll go a little bit quicker with it. We'll go below the horizon line so that you can see that as well. Just a review, because I know it may have been a while for some of you. Oh, I gotta even that up. I'll go a little further with this. Yeah, good enough. Again, keeping that parallel to the horizon. I'm going to switch pens here and go to my thin pen for the guidelines. Okay. And just like before, we've got to end the box. So I'm going to figure out how big I want to make it. I'm going to go this size. And just like before, we've got to finish up our corners. And you can do this through weight of line. I would like to see your guidelines when you do this at first so I can see that you're doing it right. Okay, so now you have one box above the horizon line and vanishing point, and one box below the vanishing point and horizon line. And so the one below, you can see the top. The one above, you can see the bottom. Let's move on to 2-point perspective. Let me flip the page here. And